Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome back to our Chavruta sessions live from Jerusalem with Rabbi Chaim Goldberg of the Noahide World Center. We're just waiting for the rabbi to show up in the Google Meets class. Excellent classes of late. I've enjoyed them great. So far, we've got our usual suspects. We got Vincent and Martina, Angelica, Bart, and Helen in our class so far. We're just waiting on the rabbi, and our class will begin shortly. Oh, looks like the rabbi just arrived in the Google Meets class, so we'll be starting shortly. I'm just going to pin him large so that he's got full screen. Shalom, Rabbi. So good to be with you. Hope everything's well in Jerusalem. We're going to turn the class over to you, sir. Oh, we can't hear you. You got your mic is muted.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening from Jerusalem.
You're good.
Hope you're doing fine, everybody. We are trying. We are doing our best. Last week, after we spoke, I met a general. Okay, one of the generals here in Israel, and he said to me, "It's okay. We have a world war. It's not the same like the two from 100 years ago. We don't see a lot of tanks in the outside the streets, but you can realize that we're already in a full World War III." Very encouraging, right? For all of us. No, I don't know. I don't know if you've heard, but what's happening in Iran is very horrible, very hard, and it's more than what people can think. Even speaking about 18,000 people, and even more that died in one day, that they were killed by the. I don't know. Who knows what will happen? Who knows what's going on? I don't think that anyone knows. We will see. We will see what's happening. Meanwhile, let's try to bring more good to the world and let's learn something. If it's okay. Anyone have any question, or I will start straight ahead? It's okay to start. Whatever is good for all of you. Everybody's very silent. Don't be shy. Okay. So I will start. I will start with something that is very important. I will start. I remember that once I was in Lithuania, and we finished 3 days of a very long, and it was before the Corona era. I was there for 10 times, and each time I came, I gave a seminar for 11, 12 hours that I stood on my feet, spoke in English, and everything was nice. It was with short breaks inside, and I gave a lot of information there. We did a lot of trainings, and after those 3 days, basically I arrived on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We had very long days, and then on Thursday I went back home to Israel. But I remember the one time on the way back, my friend Aurimas, he spoke with me about a few things. And one of the things that he wanted very much to share with me was that he was amazed when he became a Noahide to realize the importance of the actions okay, that you need to do, and it's essential with everything else that you do in this world, in the Jewish tradition. He said to me very hard things about all sorts of priests that he knew and things like that are preaching every Sunday to do one thing, but at the end they're doing other things. And he said that they all know this hypocrite thing, but they never thought how much it's important for the Hebrew nation, the issue of doing actions. So with your permission, I will share the screen and we'll see something amazing that we read in the last yesterday, and we will start to understand how much it's important for the Hebrew nation. And we'll try to analyze, okay, why are we saying that? Or why are we putting it inside? I will share things from our sages. I'm not sure that I will bring you all the, I will say, all the resources, but I will say them by heart, and we'll be together. First, let's start with the beginning of Genesis. Really, the first step of Genesis, we have something really. In a moment, I will share the screen. Okay, here it is. Now let me share the screen. Okay, where are you, all of you now? Here it is. Let me share the screen. Come on. I'm connected inside. You know that I changed all my internet so we won't have any problems? I did it a month ago. If you saw since then, we don't have any problems with the internet. Went and took it someone else. Okay, you can see the screen, right?
Yeah,
so
we can see it fine.
I want to start with the first commented Rashi and the Bible. Okay, we're starting here from the beginning of the beginning. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Okay, in the beginning of God's creation of the heavens and earth. Please read the first Rashi.
Okay, first Rashi. In the beginning, said Rabbi Isaac, it was not necessary to begin the Torah except from this month is to you, from Exodus 12, verse 2, which is the first commandment that the Israelites were commanded. For the main purpose of the Torah is its commandments. And although several commandments are found in Genesis, example, circumcision and the prohibition of eating the thigh sinew, they could have been included together with the other commandments. Now, for what reason did he commence with, in the beginning, because of the verse, the strength of his works he related to his people to give them the inheritance of the nations, from Psalm 111, verse 6. For if the nations of the world would say to Israel, you are robbers, for you have conquered by force the lands of the 7 nations of Canaan, they will reply, the entire earth belongs to the Holy One, blessed be He. He created it. This we learn from the story of the creation, and He gave it to whomever He deemed proper when He wished. He gave it to them, and when He wished, He took it away from them and gave it to us.
Basically, if I will say it like that, if I will summarize, it's very nice to see or to hear, I will say, the principle that this land is the land of the Hebrew nation. Again, the English is not 100% being translated right. It says here something, if we need to read it in the right way, okay? God gave it to whom He deemed proper, okay? The behavior of the Hebrew nation, when he think that the behavior of the Hebrew nation is proper, okay, this is when he is giving the Hebrew land to the Hebrew nation. So it's very nice, but there is an assumption here that Rashi is moving aside because of the reasons that we need to know that the Hebrew nation have the possibility, have the authority to conquer this land. And what exactly is the hidden assumption? And I must mention, this part, you see, this part is not being in Rashi. It's not written in Hebrew in Rashi. This is those who translated Rashi, basically the Chabad people, okay? The people from Chabad, they added this thing. And what are they saying here? The main purpose of the Torah, it's commandments. Now, again, this is the assumption. This is how they explain the assumption of Rashi. But if we look for a moment, and let's jump for a moment to Exodus 12:2. Okay, I'm opening it here. Can you? I hope that you will be able to see. You can see it, right? You can see my screen now. This is Exodus chapter 12. Okay, where basically God is giving us the first commandment. See
Right.
it?
Verse 2
Let's read
says,
it for a moment. Let's read verse number 1 and 2.
1. The Lord spoke to Moses and to Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be to you the head of the months. To you it shall be the first of the months of the year.
This is the first commandment, and then he's continuing on with another commandment. Another commandment is that they need to do circumcision. Another commandment that they need to take a small lamb and to tie it to their beds. And another 4 days before Passover, they need to slaughter it and to put the blood on the on the doors in a way that God will skip on them. And also that they need to eat from this lamb, and they need to organize what we call not bread, but also to organize matzot. A lot of details of things to do. And Rashi is saying this is where we were supposed to start the Torah, from this part, from this chapter. And the Chabad is explaining because this chapter is with all of the commandments. This is the opening of commandments of the Hebrew nation, for the Hebrew nation. And the question is, we need to remember, okay, chapter 12 is in the middle of the, it's like when you have a series of on the TV, when you have a series of films, you see one movie, or a week after that you see the next chapter, a week after that you see the next chapter. So each time, at the end of the chapter, they're doing some sort of a teaser, so you will look, or you will expect for the next week, right? You know that? This is a very simple trick that everybody knows that.
Yeah.
The hook, exactly, the hook for next week. Here we have, suddenly in the middle of the main part of the story, okay? Just before God is giving the 10th pledge and killing the firstborn of the Egyptians. And just before he's doing that, then they will go out from Egypt. Just before that, suddenly, we have a very long chapter with a lot of commandments. So it's very nice that Rashi is saying this, but also here it's still in the middle of the story. The story started in the beginning in chapter 1, where there was a king that raised up in the Egyptian empire who forgot Joseph and the good things that he did to them, to the Egyptian empire. Let's not forget Joseph, what he did there. He didn't only save them from famine so they can live, but he also managed to bring all the money from all the countries around to the Egyptians. Everybody gave them more and more money for getting a bit of food. So Joseph did two things. He saved their lives, and also he managed to bring the Egyptians to become the biggest empire in those days. Now, everything starts in chapter 1, that there was a king who raised up and didn't, forgot everything that Joseph did. If we will think about this for today, for example, so it will be close to our minds, what happened there is that it was, like the Democrats and the, what do you call it, the second side in the United States. The Democrats and the Republicans, okay? That the Democrats are holding the government, and after that, when the Republicans are coming, so they firing all the people from the Democrats, something like that. This is what happened. Okay, there was this different, kings that stood up and they wanted to forget everything that the oldest one did. And this is how the story is starting. And from there, the story is getting bad and bad and bad. They're drowning all the kids, and they're having a big fight against Moses and Aaron, who is trying to take them out, and they're not allowing them to go out, whatever it is. And in the middle of the main part of the story, just before this pledge is coming, suddenly we have a stop, and a very, very long chapter. Okay, very long one. It's something like 41, I think even more, 42. 51, sorry. 51 verses of only things that you need to do, deeds that you need to do. And we need to understand what's happening here. And then the next chapter will continue that God gave the pledge and they went out from Egypt. And the story will continue. Okay, they went out from Egypt. Think about this for a moment. At midnight, 600,000 male, except for the women's, the children's, whatever it is, they all went out from Egypt, and the Egyptians kicked them out. So this is what it says. We need also to remember that Pharaoh is accepting the mission of the Hebrew nation. Okay, what is the mission of the Hebrew nation? The mission of the Hebrew nation, God said it to Abraham. He said to him that he's going to be the blessings of the nations, right? So let's move for a moment, to chapter 13. Just a moment. Here it is, read verses 31, 32. Done?
31. So he called for Moses and Aaron at night, and he said, "Get up and get out from among my people, both you as well as the children of Israel, and go worship the Lord as you have spoken. Take also your flocks and also your cattle as you have spoken, and go, but you shall also bless me."
Okay, so basically what people are saying usually, okay, you shall bless me because I'm also a firstborn and I might get killed also. But God didn't kill him because of the big miracle on the sea. Okay, by the way, also they didn't kill him, and Pharaoh became the king of Nineveh. If we all remember when Jonah is coming there and saying God is going to demolish Nineveh because of the bad things that they're doing there, suddenly the king decided that everybody is doing repentance. So such as saying this is Pharaoh, and he knew already what God can do. So therefore, he asked to do straight ahead the repentance or tshuva, what we call. But what Pharaoh is saying here is saying, I acknowledge that you are the blessing of the world, and bless me. I am acknowledging that this is your mission. So this is what's happening, and they're going out. And if we go back to the main question that we started, okay, with Rashi in the beginning of the Torah, and what the Torah is doing here, that suddenly in the middle of the story, in the most important part of the story, suddenly we have a lot of the deeds that we need to do, a lot of things that we need, that we are obligated to do. The understanding of that is, I will give two levels, okay? First of all, the first level that we need to know is that you can't speak about a lot of big ideas if you don't have the way to put it on the ground. I will call it like that, to bring it to reality. And there's a way how to do that. I can explain a bit. If you want, I can explain a bit how it's working here, okay? But first of all, we need to know. We can decide to have a lot of ideas, great ideas. If we don't know how to implement those ideas to the reality, it's worth nothing. It's only ideas. Okay? For example, let's go. One of the things that, let me share again the screen, sorry. Let me share it again. One of the things that we have here one of the commandments. Let me show you for a moment. Just a moment. Read for a moment 8 and 9, please. Okay.
Okay, 8. And on this night they shall eat the flesh roasted over the fire, and unleavened cakes with bitter herbs they shall eat it. You shall not eat it rare or boiled in water, except roasted over the fire, its head with its legs and with its innards.
So we're doing here something very interesting. We need to eat it. Think about this for a moment. You put it on, one stick, and you're turning it around, boiling it around all the time, but not boiling it inside of water, but doing it in the fire. What's happening when you're putting a steak on the fire? It's getting very tight, very one unit, right? And here it's even continuous. It will be also said, one of the verses, that we're not allowed to break any bone there. We're taking a small limb, okay, not limb, sorry, a small animal. We're putting it, we're slaughtering it, and we're putting it on the fire, and we're bringing it to become one unit. Now, what is the meaning of one unit? The Hebrew nation is one unit. God is one unit, okay? We want to express the unity of this world, of God, in this eating that we're going to eat. If we will do it, we all know, if you will do it as a soup, okay? You put it inside the water and you will do a soup of volume. So we know that it's getting apart, No, we need to do it as one unit. And also we need to take it with a sour, with a bitter, herbs, because we were for 400 years, 210, depends on the timing, we were living in a very bitter situation. We need to show the expression of what we passed. We need to do it in actions. And if we can't take this big idea of the unity of God and of the bitter that we had, and from there we went out, and if we can't bring it, I can give a lot of examples here, okay? But if we can't express this in the reality that we live, and again, we're going to something that is related with food. I want to remind us all that God obeyed Adam and Eve in the beginning, that from every tree that they see, they need to eat. There's more and more to eat. Okay, except for one tree. Okay, they went to the wrong. Then after that, they also ate from the wrong one. But never mind now. This. We are imitating something that already started with Adam and Eve. And I want to remind us also for this, something that we spoke about more than once. When you eat, you suddenly realize that your living is coming from outside of you. You eat, and this is how you live. You can't live if you won't eat. And this is bringing you also to the acknowledgement that also in the spiritual level, if you are getting your life from outside of you. All those ideas are coming to this limb that you're putting on the fire, and you restoring him, turning him around and around until he's becoming one unit, and then you're eating him. And you're doing it families, whatever it is. So we're starting to understand that we have big ideas and we need to bring them to reality. On this night, this is how you eat your Passover. By the way, it will continue on all of the until those days. I know we're not doing Passover today because the Arabs are not letting us to be on the mountain. Soon they will go aside and they will give us. So we are the first point that we need to realize that all the big ideas that we're speaking about, we need to bring them to practical reality. Some sort of symbolizing, but it's not symbolized in outside of it. It's inherited. It's related one with each other. So these thing that we're doing is creating some sort of a reality inside us also, inside us and to the world. So this is point number one. But there's another thing. I think that not less profound and also very important, and it's another side, another, like, the coin that you have two sides. So this is another side of this issue. We as human beings, we have minds, we have ideas, we can think, or we can feel in ourselves also the love to God. We can feel the fear in front of God. Very nice. But this is not, and at the end we also have a body. And the body is supposed to be part of all of those, I'll say, ideas. One of the things that is happening usually, that people think that what we think, this can influence what we do. And the truth is vice versa, okay? When we do things, it is influencing our mind, okay? In the Hebrew tradition, we say it in Hebrew, after the deeds come also all the ideas in behind, and we managing to get in line. I will give an example that it's a bit rare, a bit strange, and today it's not working, okay? But it worked in the days that I'm speaking about, okay? I'm speaking about almost 200 years ago, a bit less, 160 years ago. One of our great rabbis, his name is Chaim. I think maybe people heard about him. And he did, just a moment, sorry, I lost you. Oh, it is. The Chaim, okay, in his age, in his era, a lot of people, it was the time that people became more and more secular. And no, it's first of all, it started in the world, it didn't start in the Hebrew nation, but it continued also to the Hebrew nation. And a lot of people said that all of this thing of doing commandments, believing in God, put it aside. We have our reason, we are very knowledgeable, we don't need any God anymore in this world. And how did, what's his name said, I saw that God died, he passed away, what's his name? One of the German people, I forgot his name now. Okay. And people became, people went out from the yeshiva, people went out from the Judaism, people stopped. But one of the things that happened with this, it was together, that people also had a very long hair. I'm not speaking about me, that I'm a bit, I don't have any hair. But I'm speaking about, people started to grow their hair. Now, in the Jewish tradition, it's a bit of a problem to grow your hair because you need to put the tefillin. I won't go inside to this. It's a lot of debates. I won't go inside all of this issue. But when people were very sad, very upset that their kids in the age of 14, the age of 15, the teenage, didn't went on the way of the parents and went out from Judaism, decided to become secular, and they brought them to the Chaim. One of the things that he did, he forced the kid to do a haircut. Okay, and usually what happened is that those kids, teenagers, after they did the haircut, they started to cry and they did the tshuva. Okay, again, it's not related with today. It's something that happened there, was in the culture there, whatever it is. But what I want to share is that a lot of times when you do things, even by force, it's helping you to feel differently. I will give an example of me, doing as a high school principal for very unique kids. I'm calling them all the time. They were with a Ferrari engine inside a bicycle structure. Okay, they were brilliant, but they were ADD, ADHD, and I don't know how much you know about those kids. But first of all, they're very brilliant. They also have a very high emotional intelligence, and the mind is all the time thinking all sorts of things. And with listening and seeing a lot of things around. Okay, I'm calling them. They always see the world as a picture of a color picture, but a very colorful one. Okay, they can hear the noise of the refrigerator. Nobody will see. Nobody will listen to this. But the refrigerator is doing from time to time like that, and they can hear this, and it can drive them crazy. So those are the ADHD, ADD kids. Very, very nice. And one of the things that they didn't like to do is to pray in the morning and to put the tefillin. They didn't like to do that. Now, I can't force them to pray. I don't know if you know, but you can't force anyone to do a spiritual thing. You can't force. Nobody, I have colleagues, okay, that thought that they can force the students to pray. You can't force someone to pray. He doesn't want to pray, he won't pray. Okay. But there's one thing that I could, and I did, okay, not only me, the staff, whatever it is, we forced them to sit down in the time of the prayer and also to be with tefillin. Now, they wanted to annoy us because you're not allowed to sleep with the tefillin. And they said to me, look, we're not going to pray, we're going to sleep with the tefillin. And you are going to be blamed for that at heaven. And I said to them, I don't care. It's your decision. You can decide to sleep, you can decide not to sleep, it's your decision. But you must put the tefillin and be with us on the time of the prayer. And what happened for that, I will give an example, the most extreme example. One of the kids, for 4 years, 4 long years, every morning we had a fight with him. So it's really amazing to see. 4 years he had, he wanted to be very against his parents, very against us with this issue. No, I won't be religious. I don't want to do that. You won't force me. And we said to him, look, we're not forcing you to pray. We're forcing you to be there, and we're forcing you to do this, to put this tefillin on. No, he doesn't want to. And every time there was someone else, every year there was someone else was the educator that was in charge of him, and every day for 4 years we had a very big fight with him. Fair enough. He was the most extreme one. Okay, he finished the 4 years, he graduated, he had done very nicely with all of the exams and everything else. He went to the army. A year and a half after that, he came to visit us with with all of the units of the army, all of the clothing, and he had also the rifle and a tefillin. All of us, all of the staff members went outside to him, hugged him. We were very happy to see him and everything else. And he said, "Oh, what happened to you? We know you for 4 years. You fight against us. Everything you are against it. Everything. What happened? Why are you coming with this? Man, you're coming with the rifle, okay? But to come with the tefillin, what happened?" And he said to us, "Look, after 4 years, when I finished the school, I understood how much it's important for you that I will wear this thing. And I understood that it's part of our tradition since we went out from Egypt. Suddenly I acknowledged that it's very important. Now, you can't force me. But when I went out from this situation, I realized that I want to be part of this. And I didn't miss even one day since I went out from the school and putting this tefillin." But I wanted to share, this is the most extreme. We had a lot of stories inside. You can believe me, you can hear one of the stories. I'm saying it and everything else. It's really funny, those things. So the teenagers, it's a very interesting world, fascinating world. But I want to say, again, the idea that we went out from Egypt today, okay, and that we putting something like tefillin on our head and our hands, okay, and it's something unique for those who were captured in Egypt, not for others. It's like all the veterans that are going with all of the notes from, they were in this battle and this battle. We were in the Battle of Egypt. So we're going out and putting on our heads something else from Pharaoh. Pharaoh, remember Pharaoh? Pharaoh had on his head a snake. The Romans had on their heads some sort of a leaves lives, right? The Hebrew nation have on their heads, we don't have snake. We have something that is kosher, something else. I won't go inside all of the symbolizing issues there, but we're showing every morning that there is a possibility of going out from the boundaries of the nature and from going out from Egypt. In Hebrew, Egypt is the boundaries. And we are remembering ourselves every morning. We are reminding ourselves every morning. We have the possibilities not being captured on the structure of the body that we have, of the nature laws. We have also will that is much greater than this. And we need to show this to ourselves every morning. And I think that one of the things that happened to this young person that I spoke with you about, that he realized that after 4 years of battle, 4 years of struggle, whatever it is, okay, he realized, and this is one of the most important things, we have also a body, and we need to bring all the big ideas that we have in our minds to reality. And this is why Rashi is saying to us, in the beginning, I'm going to give you a very long story, all Genesis, the first half of Exodus. And the story that I'm going to give you, God is saying to us, is that you will realize, I will say, the framework of this world on one side. But on the other side, don't forget, from the beginning of the Torah, and in the middle of the main part of the story, don't forget, I want to give you a lot of things that you're going to do, and it's not rituals. It's not something just symbolizing for an outside symbolize of something. It's something that will change your inside, so you will be able to be in the right, I will say, connection with God. The Hebrew nation have a lot of things to do, okay? We're speaking about 613 commandments. The Noahide have a bit less. The best way to show this or to explain this, it's like on the radio. I don't know, today, most of the people don't understand what is this radio, machine, small machine of radio that we have, because we're all listening to the YouTube, whatever it is, or we see the TV, we see through the internet. But there are different frequencies, right? There's the AM and there is the FM. You all know that, right? Even Helen knows that. Yay! She's young, but she knows that. It's because she's from the east side of Europe. Fair enough. I'm joking. We have the AM and FM. Think about this like that. The Hebrew nation is on the FM frequency, and the rest of the world is on the AM frequency. Fair enough. It's not saying, it's different frequency. So this is why those have only obligated to 7 mitzvot. Again, commandments, they can do more. We know this book, the Shkolit Shalom book. And the Hebrew nation is obligated to do more. Fair enough. But it's not, it's not a full difference between those two, okay? We're all human beings, we're all living here in this world. And we need to bring the big ideas inside to reality of that the body will be connected also. And this will bring us, those behaviors will bring us to the right line, to be in the right side, to understand what's happening. Because after the behaviors that we do, it's lining us to the right mindset. One of them, also another thing that I'm bringing a lot of times to realize that, is the prayer in the morning. Go to the prayer, to the Brit Olam book, and see, I'm speaking about the prayer, not the praising God in the Psalms, the first part, not acknowledging God to be one in the part of Kriyat Shema, and the Shema Israel part, but the prayer that we're praying for, we have questions. We're asking for knowledge. We're asking for repentance. We're asking for health. We're asking for finance to live. There are questions there. Okay, we're asking for Jerusalem. We're asking that God will accept our question. This is also part of the putting us in line. So this is already part of putting us in line in wordings, but the action of the prayer, it's also part of the action. So every morning we wake up and we can do with ourselves 5 minutes, not some sort of a meditation without any intense, or meditation to the how do they call it in the there is a what they call the secret. Okay, ask the universe. Who is the universe? Who is the universe? Can you speak with the universe? Ask the universe, and the secret will give you everything. Come on, the universe. There are all sorts of ways how to worship idolatry today. Don't ask universe anything. Speak with God. Speak with God, he will answer you. Speak with God, he will do for you good things. But put yourself in line every morning. You know now the boundaries, and the boundaries are limitless. The truth is the boundaries, God is limitless. So the boundaries are limitless. And it all depends on us. But we also need to bring this to reality with our behavior, with the actions, not only with the wordings. And this will bring us to the right mindset, and we will be connected with God. This is what I wanted to share today. Questions, please. Notes, things that you want to ask, everything is fine. You're very silent today. It was clear, everything is clear, everything is fine.
Yeah, very clear, Rabbi. Thank you. I really appreciate the explanation of the difference between AM and FM. And yeah, I mean, one's amplitude modulation or modulation, the other's frequency modulation. And yeah, so total different type of communication, but in a similar field. I really also appreciate your explaining about the Passover being a one unit. That is a huge thought. I mean, it could be unfurled at such a level. So you gave some great examples there. So I enjoyed that. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Anybody else in the group have any questions for the rabbi?
One by one, I can't everybody together. You're very shy people today. Okay, fair enough. Everything is fine.
I just found out that every word is an action. Every word. I looked at what I was writing the other day, and I thought, hey, wait a minute. These are all action words. So I need to act upon these things. So I have to start somewhere. And then I'm like, yes, absolutely. And it gave me a happiness. I'm going to go for it. Like, oh my goodness.
I like how the rabbi, yeah. I like how the rabbi said at the beginning, you've got to be able to put it into practice in order to understand it. And yeah, if you cannot put it into practice, yeah, it's just an idea. And as somebody who's done a lot of video animation and things like that, creating something, you've got to be able to think of it first before you can animate it. And there's an interconnectivity to make things look good. You've got to actually have the action complete, like and then build around it, like the audio stream, and then animate along to blend it properly. And so it's a question of what comes first, the chicken or the egg.
You need to work. You need to work. Fair enough. If it's okay, I will go out now. I need to go. But next week, we're going to have a meeting. It will be fine with me, hopefully with everyone.
Okay. Mizrat Hashem, we're praying for you and all Israel. We're sad to hear you say it's like World War III over there.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Blessings, everybody. Blessings. You know my email, you know everything. You can ask questions. Everything is fine.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I guess, we're going to sign out for today. We will be back next week. Beautiful lesson, Rabbi. Blessings to you and everybody in the group. So till next week, have a wonderful, wonderful week, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.